What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the round 14 AFL Feel Good Story. I've gone through all the games to talk about certain players and certain things that did happen across the weekend, and well, there's a clear standout from last week. So let's get straight into it. This is the round 14 AFL Feel Good Story. A few honourable mentions to get through, but first of all, I wanted to talk about a feel-good story that I encountered on the weekend playing for my team, St Paul's Old Scholars, against Hectorville Division 6, top of the table clash at Theberton Oval. It was 48 apiece with the last 30 seconds remaining, and well, this is what happened. I couldn't believe what I saw, what was I a part of on the weekend. It was something that rarely ever happens, and to hit the scoreboard with, just under 5 seconds to go and the siren sounding away from home against the top team who were undefeated. I have to mention, I have to get it out there because it is one of the greatest things I've been a part of, and yeah, I just had to say it because I can't stop watching it. That would have been the feel-good story regardless of any of these other stories, but it is the AFL, so we have to move into it. The other honourable mention I wanted to talk about was Christian Petrarca's weird goal that happened in Darwin. The right foot, well, the right angle bounce, I should say, not right foot bounce. The right angle bounce, Angus Montfrey style, to get the D's across the line in a great game of footy up in Darwin. And the D's are back. They're back in the 8, and St Kilda seem to be stumbling a little bit, and it's starting to pan out. So that was a great story in itself. The D's holding on there. Another story I wanted to talk about was Jake Riccardi, the rising star, booting a bag of 5 in your second game, mind you. Just looks to be a star. And with Jeremy Finlayson looking likely he's going to move on, they've found another star in their forward half and another young crop of players coming through. Riccardi will certainly be one of those that will showcase his talents going forward. But let's get to the feel-good story of the weekend. Now, Joe Daniher played his first game of footy for Essendon for the first time in, I think it was over 400 days. He finally got on the park. And well, it was an interesting game of football, wasn't it? Hawthorn was certainly dominant for the first half. Joe Daniher hardly had a look in throughout that first half, and was really struggling to get into the game through no fault of his own. It was just ugly football from Essendon, and they couldn't move the ball. There were too much handballing, and it was just slow pace, and Hawthorn got on the counter attack, and it was just a tale of two halves. You come into the second half, and Joe hits the scoreboard.
But it's the Bombers, they're all over them at the moment. Parrish, probing ball, Joe, yes! Much paid to Daniher. And the Bomber fans that are at the Adelaide Oval are delighted to see it. The bulking frame of Joe Daniher. He might have improved his kicking in his absence as well. He's put it through. He's back.
And we're all up and about because he's finally having an impact on the game. And it's good to see him back. You talk all this talk about where he's going to be and is he going to hold up. Let's just sit in the moment for a minute and talk about the fact that he's been able to come back from pretty severe injury, finally get over his troubles to play a game of football. And we're talking about him moving along. Don't know how long he's going to last. Let's sit in the moment and actually be grateful for the fact that we've got a star like Joe Daniher. I really rate him. I think he can break games open, and he's done so in previous years. To have him back on the park and hit the scoreboard and be able to have an impact on a game of football after having so long out, that is the feel-good story right there in itself, Joe Daniher. And what prevailed after that was pure magic. Seeing him hit the scoreboard twice in the last quarter. He was reading the ball so well. He was taking great marks, and his left foot kick was back to somewhat how we remembered it all those days ago. And it's just to see Essendon get across the line as well. I'm not a particularly big fan of Essendon, but in saying that, I froth a feel-good story, and the way they came back across the line to beat Hawthorn in that manner, keep their season alive, and to have Joe Daniher a part of that's the story. That's why we love football, and thanks Essendon. Thank you for bringing him back, because now we can see how he progresses, and I hope he can get some continual, consistent footy into his game and be a predominant figure, whether he's at Essendon or somewhere else in the foreseeable future. But for now, he's playing footy, and that's what we should be grateful for. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is the round 14 feel-good story for this week. Let me know in the comments below if you had a feel-good story in your life over the weekend playing footy or watching footy or from your team. Certainly is good to see so much positivity around football at the moment, especially with we get all the negative stuff happening and all this stuff coming through our game from the experts, and we don't focus on the little things, and that's why feel-good stories makes you feel good, doesn't it? Because you get to know exactly the positives that are happening in our lives and in footy. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the feel-good stories from each of our own teams, because I know I was happy. I was thoroughly enjoying Charlie Dixon kicking a bag of goals on the weekend. That was Port Adelaide's feel-good story. We'll just keep ticking along and see what happens in round 15. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more AFL and Port Adelaide content and more feel-good stories coming your way for the rest of the season. My name is Anthony, and